So I want to work on some balance exercises today as well. So these are good opportunities, not just for your physical balance, but also to challenge your mental balance too. Keeping your equanimity as you learn and practice challenging new things. So first, let's warm up your hips. Take your bow staff to one side, lift up the same side foot, and make a figure 8 with your knee. So you go up the side, down the middle, up the side, down the middle. A little brain teaser here. This is one of the best exercises for your hips. It helps you build strength, both in the static standing leg and strength in the dynamic moving leg. It helps build flexibility in your hip joints, and it helps you with balance. To make it more challenging, you can simply lift the bow staff up. Now go ahead and reverse direction. Same leg, but opposite direction. Now it's up the middle, down the side. Up the middle, down the side. Challenge yourself if you like by taking away the bow staff, or blinking slowly or closing your eyes provides a different balance challenge too. Not to mention the challenge of your brain to get this movement coordinated. All right, shake that leg out. Nicely done. Switch, other side. Go up the side, down the middle. Up the side, down the middle. Track your knee. Imagine your knee drawing a figure 8. Engage your core. Keep a strong center here. Nicely done. Warming, strengthening, and stabilizing. Now reverse direction, same leg, opposite way. Challenge yourself by lightening your touch if you're really hanging on for your dear life. It's okay if you wobble or if you have to step down. Challenge yourself. All right, shake that leg out, release. Well done. All right, pause for a moment. Feel those sensations flowing and opening up through your hips, legs, and your core. Nice. Now for your knees, you can take your bow staff on the tops of your knees and circle and rotate. These little knee rotations can be wonderful lubricators, getting that synovial fluid moving all through your knee joints. And then backwards. All right, and come back up. Nice. So I want to open up your ankles a little bit more too before we do our balance. The ankles are also a very neglected part of the body that we can easily take for granted. So to open your ankles, take your bow staff forward and take that same side foot forward too. Lift your heel and circle, moving your core, moving your center as you rotate. And now go backwards. Rotate around. This is ideal if you can do it barefoot or with socks on. It's not going to give you as much movement if you have shoes on for this. Now take that same foot backward and turn it upside down and roll the tops of your feet. So the further back your foot goes, the less angle on your ankles, so the less pressure. If it's painful, you can also use a blanket or a pillow, and you can soften up the pressure there. Try to roll those toes and tops of your feet one way and now the other. It's likely you're going to get lots of crackles and pops. I don't know if you can hear my ankles crackling. I've had lots of skateboarding and soccer injuries, so my ankles have gone through major trauma. Hold it there, press and stretch, breathe. Especially when there's intense sensations, use that phrase, I feel what I feel. Allow those sensations to flow through you. And release, shake that foot out. Now you can add one more. Take your foot forward and turn your ankle to the side. Take it to the midline and stretch the edge of your ankle here. Turning it to the side. It's very important that your ankles maintain mobility. This is a big part of your balancing mechanism. And shake that foot out. Now you may already be able to compare when you stand and just simply rock and shift your weight around side to side, front to back, and see if one of your feet feels more responsive, more active, more alive, more awake. And now let's do the other side. Take the hand and the foot both forward, lift your heel, press in a circle, massage big toe to little toe, and rotate. After you do this ankle exercise a few times, maybe a few dozen times, it's very likely you'll find yourself starting to do it unconsciously. If you're just sitting there at the dinner table and your feet feel stiff, you'll find yourself rolling them, stretching them. It starts to become a natural reflex, a natural go-to anytime you start to feel stiff. So if you ever catch yourself doing that, acknowledge it. That can be really good preparation or prevention so that it doesn't get too stiff. Go backward, little toe to big toe. It's kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you feel stiff and you just stretch your body. You're not thinking about doing a yoga pose. You're not thinking about anything. It just feels good. That's what you want to get to with your whole body. Anytime it starts to feel resistance, even before you're conscious of it, you'll find yourself wanting to move, and you'll have this repertoire, this toolkit of poses and stretches that you've practiced that now you can rely upon and you can access and use. Turn that foot now backward and turn your toes upside down. Roll big toe to little toe in a circle. Stretch the metatarsals, the bones in the tops of your feet. Open that up, the ankle, the shin. And then the other direction, reverse. This is likely the most attention your ankles have gotten all week. Really savor all these sensations. All these joints benefit from this lubrication. Press and hold, stretch the tops of your feet, breathe in. And release, give it a shake. And last one, take your foot forward to the midline and turn it to the side and stretch the edge of your ankle now. Stretch the sides of your ankles, your feet. And release, shake, shake, shake. Excellent. So next we're going to practice a really classic balancing pose. It's a static balance called tree pose. So let me show you how to do it with the Bo Yoga staff. This can really help not just with assisting you in balance, it's also going to help you with opening your hips in the mobility and your ability to then focus on other aspects such as your vision and other parts of your balance too. So let's start with your feet close together, as close as you can get them. And take your bow staff off to your left side. All right, now you're going to turn your left foot out and lift your heel. There's several versions. You can do kickstand tree with your heel resting on your foot, and you can simply open your hands or lift and practice from here. The next step, you lift your foot up to the calf. And same thing, you're trying to open your hip here. You can also use the bow staff to gently lever your hip open, kind of peeling it open as long as the other hip doesn't move. So keep this other hip stable as you gently stretch. If you're wanting to go further, you can lift your heel above into your thigh. You do want to avoid pressing your knee joint to the side, even though it feels comfortable on your kneecap. That's not recommended. So you can stay a little longer with the support of the bow yoga staff. So lightly touch, use it if you need it, but you can also raise it up and release, or use it frequently as needed. And you can explore different hand positions at your center, to the side, or even above your head. Blinking slowly will allow you to explore non-visual balance. Get to the point where you're wiggling and wobbling. If you're too steady and stable, you're not actually improving your balance as much as if you're wobbling a little bit. When you're ready, come back down and release. Nicely done. Let's move to the other side. So take your bow staff to the same side as the leg that's going to be opening. Turn your hip out. Kickstand, level 1. Calf, level 2. Or take it up to the thigh, level 3. You can use the bow staff to gently peel the hip open as long as this hip stays where it is. Another technique you can use is called P&F, where you're actually going to press the bow staff against the inner thigh, press your thigh against the bow staff, and create some resistance. It's like you're pushing against a wall, a little isometric pressure. And if you hold that for about 10 seconds and then release it, miraculously, the hip opens even further. It's kind of like reverse psychology for your body. So you actually try to press it the opposite way you want it to go. So if you want your hip to open, you try to close your hip, but you don't let it with the resistance from the bar. And then when you relax, it actually opens. So this is a proven technique called P&F. You could then explore other options, raising one or even both hands. Or if you're feeling pretty advanced, you can even add some movements or some spins. Challenge yourself, find that wobble. All right, when you're ready, come back down and release. Shake your hips out. Nicely done. So tree pose is a good static balance because you're basically holding still as you're doing it. So it trains a certain type of balance, but it won't help you all that much with dynamic balance, which is balancing while you're moving. All right. So for this next one, we're going to do a tandem step. So you simply walk around the room where you are and you bring your heel and toe into a line as if you're walking on a tightrope. Heel, toe, and you can take your bow staff with you as a little bit of support. Don't use it if you don't need it, but use it if you do need it, okay? You can walk forward, backward. Just make sure you have enough space and you look where you're going if you're going backward. If the full tandem step feels too difficult to go directly heel to toe, simply widen it an inch or two and make a semi-tandem. So it's a little offset. That's still going to challenge you by narrowing your base of support, but it's going to make it more possible. So just walk around your room. Maybe you don't use the bow staff after a little while and you just do it with your feet. At first you're going to look down at the floor. Eventually you're going to start to look more forward. It's challenging your dynamic balance while moving. Excellent. And make your way back. Nicely done. Give your legs a little shake and release. Nice work. So I want to build a little bit more strength in your legs as well. And this one is going to combine static and dynamic. So there's a little bit of movement, but you're also holding still at the same time. So this is called a round kick. You're going to bring your feet together and take your right arm out to the side in line with your feet. So it's parallel with the feet. Turn your right toe out and then bend your left knee. So from the side view, you can see here, your knees are together, your foot is just going back. Now you lift your leg up and extend your arm, bend your elbow. So from the side view, you can see the elbow and the knee are both bent and then they lift. Now you extend your arm and leg, bend. Elbow, knee stay fixed, and you're just going to move the outside extremities from knee and elbow out. That's all that's moving. So you're partially static, the standing leg, partially dynamic. You're going to feel the outer hips working. As you get stronger, you're going to be able to raise a little higher, but start nice and low. Don't force this. You're going to lose your balance many times, so use your bow staff to help you stabilize. And then hold it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, maybe challenge yourself, take away your support. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. All right, that can be tough. You can use your staff to tap or to roll sore muscles out. Good. Notice the more challenging the pose, the more those inner voices may be creeping up. The victim voice, the critic voice, the rebellious voice. I'm not going to do this, or I can't do this, or you're not good enough to do this. Address those voices with your affirmations. Let's do the other side now. So left hand goes out, left toe opens slightly. This opens your hips up. Bend your right knee, knees touch. Right arm out. Lift your leg, bend the elbow. So from the side view, knee, elbow, lift, and then extend, kick. 1, 2, 3. One common problem I see is people's thighs are moving. That's not it. Keep your thighs still just below the knee. Isolate it. Kick. And then you can even look down the fingers. Look down the toes. Strengthen these outer hips. Strengthen the standing leg. Okay, don't overdo it. If it hurts, just go a little lower or take a break. Let's hold now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Challenge your balance. 4, 3, 2, and come back down. 1. Nicely done. Roll those hips out. Tap any sore spots. Excellent. Very good.